I ask that you take your commitment book in hand and turn to page 19. Some of you in the hall will remember. Others of you, because of your young age, will not. That there was a time, just 25 years ago, when across the globe we dared to believe that armed conflict could finally come to an end and hate might cease. That hope was dashed, and we as human beings and human communities reverted back to our old ways of hate and violence and war. Today, there are just under 50 armed conflicts in our world. Violence plagues our cities, hate speech fills our media, terrorism reigns. Religions play a part in this regression into the baser elements of our humanity. But religions also have within them the resources to resist these baser elements of our nature and nurture the better angels of our nature. Which choice will you make? Which choice will we make? Which choice will our religious communities make in 2015? Turn then to page 20, where you will find these requests and commitments as invitations. The Parliament of World Religions calls on participants in this 2015 Parliament of the World's Religions to recommit themselves to those exemplary elements of their own religious traditions that stand against hate and the rhetoric of hate, against violence and terrorism, against conflict and war. We further call on participants to encourage and support the practices of justice-seeking and peacemaking, the disciplines of nonviolent protest against injustice and war, and the active engagement in both religious and civic organizations and movements that will be transformative in the cause of justice and peace. More than that, we call on participants in this 2015 Parliament of the World's Religions to recognize and act upon the promise and power of the interfaith, interreligious, and intercultural movements of our own era, especially when these movements address, engage, and activate the guiding institutions of society and nations to be partners in ending hate and violence, terrorism and war, and when they advance reconciliation and peace. By active involvement in these movements, we give witness to the local and global reality of a new kind of human solidarity and provide a vitally needed agency, both locally and globally, for reclaiming the life-giving heart of our shared humanity.
Dear friends in faith, please rise and stand for the adoption of this declaration. You have been given this declaration on hate and hate speech, violence and war, and its call. Do you now receive it and claim it as your own? If you do, please say with me after this, in the presence of this company of witnesses, I do. In the presence of this company are witnesses I do. Will you share this declaration and its call with others and ask them to receive and claim it as their own? If you do, please say, "In this company of the committed, I will. In this company of the committed, I will." Blessings be upon us all. May we all be strong in mind, body, and spirit for carrying out this commitment. You may kindly be seated now. We have together committed ourselves to a great cause. I invite you now to take just a moment of reflection and open your commitment book to page 21. And look at the kind of actions that are suggested here. And finally, to write your own commitment to action on the next page, and I will do so with you at this time. Thank you, friends, for your commitments to this cause. May you find fulfillment in pursuing actions that will contribute to a more safe and secure world for our children and our grandchildren. May the blessings of wisdom, strength, and courage be yours as you meet these commitments you have made this evening. Thank you.
If you use the H word in your speech or consciousness toward another person, you are not free. And if you express the H word in private, remember that the right to privacy does not include the right to hypocrisy. I'm speaking about H-A-T-E. Don't say it. Naming it is too easy. If you name it, the likelihood is that you will waste time condemning it or justifying it. But if you take it into your heart, the likelihood is that you can transform it. The active part of nonviolence is love, said Gandhi. Love is the route to transforming the H word. Be disturbed by it. Discover, see, and understand the origin of it. Become very intimate with it. Study it. Look at it. Go into it. Discover the implications of it. It is the root of violence, war, and innocent suffering. If we're going to free ourselves and others from the effects of the H word, we must be willing to go beyond anger, nationality, violence, and exclusive religions. We must stop condemning and justifying the H word. We don't have enemies. We have friends with different definitions of experience. In our very diverse world, tonight I charge you to make a commitment to inclusivity. Make an irrevocable covenant with the humanity of the world. Make a determination to protect the inherent dignity of all people without exception. Co-create a dignitarian global society. To achieve this, you need a larger address than where you were born. A big vision is required. Hence, I charge you to live in Mahatma Gandhi's global village, in Martin Luther King Jr.'s World House, in Nelson Mandela's International Solidarity of Peace-Loving Nations, in Daisaku Ikeda's Global Commonwealth of Citizens, and in Fethullah Gulen's Global Civilization of Love and Tolerance. I charge you to create a revolution of character and a chain reaction of empowerment on the World Wide Web by expanding your internet friendships across differences. I charge you to collect the emails and names of 5 or more people from different religions at the 2015 Parliament. Counter, challenge the 11,500 H-word websites found internationally. Challenge those websites with Internet Satyagraha, Internet Agape, Internet Unconditional Love, Internet Compassion, Internet Tolerance, Internet Nonviolence, and Internet Forgiveness. Stay connected with what is happening in the civil societies of your new world neighbors. And finally, right now, turn to your neighbor on your right or on your left. I invite you to look your neighbor in the eye right now and repeat after me. Are you working on yourself? Doing the best you can? Or is this all we're going to get? No! Our best is yet to be.